Hello, hello, hello again. It's me, Abby, your not so huge, not so small podcast. And I say not so small because I have 173 subscribers and I'm so happy about my subscribers. So thank you to everybody that's been commenting on my videos. I really, really enjoy communicating with people that I don't talk to every day. So when I post a video and people give me their opinion on whatever I put out or even the way I'm presenting myself, I enjoy it a lot. Shout out to that one person that told me that one of my videos had great content, awesome title, awesome hook, but they didn't like that I started talking about my dog at the beginning of the episode. And that was only to explain that my dog is suffering from a collapsed trachea and you might occasionally hear him coughing in the background. I didn't want you guys to think I was farting in the background. So I had to explain why my dog is coughing. But I took the feedback. My response was, hey, thank God I have a full-time job then because I might be pissing off a lot of people. But anyway, I wanted to do a video today because I think PBD did it again. He showed his ass. And like I stated on one of my past videos, I used to be a huge PBD fan to the point where I even reached out to him when Jillian Michaels walked off their show, Her Take, of Valuetainment's show, Her Take, which is like a women's leaning more conservative, but it's a women podcast that is under Valuetainment that PBD started. And when Jillian walked off, she walked off because she didn't like the conversation about Israel. He was looking for a new host, and I connected him. And Connected's his app where you can pay money to talk to people on the app. And I connected him, and I said, "You need somebody like me, not me specifically, but somebody like me, just an average American or a housewife or a woman that works, whatever. Just somebody not in the mainstream." To provide feedback on an average American, because the people on the panel, they're all established. They're all, you have Lindy Lee, Anna Kasperi from the Young Turks. It was pretty established. And his response to me was, no, that he wanted somebody with a huge following, which I get it. Like I said in my video, which I will post, huge following equals what? More views equals revenue. So I get it. But I was a huge PBD fan. And so I unsubscribed to his YouTube channel, so I don't see anything that he posts. But I did see a video today that came up across my X feed. And when I saw it, it kind of got me mad a little bit because I'm like, he's playing both sides. I feel like PBD for a while now has been playing the side of not going against the narrative, but also going against the narrative. And I know it sounds conflicting and it sounds weird, but I guess my point is that he doesn't want to go too hard on certain topics. Example of that would be Israel and the genocide that's happening in Gaza. And I strongly believe it's because of his relationships with people like the majority owners of the Yankees. PBD is a minority owner, and he had to not give, I guess it's voted in, but they had to collectively accept his ownership. It had to be like everybody had to say yes, which they did. So he is a minority owner. So I think that he doesn't want to ruin those relationships. They may be Jewish. I don't know. I never looked into it. But I feel like he's playing both sides. And I saw this video, and I just wanted to talk about it because why not? So I'm gonna show a small piece, and then I'm gonna show the portion that kind of like ticked me off a little bit.
Hey, wow, you guys are probably this. I've never been to any of these, like the party you went to the White House. Mm-hmm. Why would I go to that? It's a Jewish party. I'm not part of that sect. We don't do anything with that. We don't take any, investors. We have nothing that we're taking right now. I can't believe you're selling shoes. You know why we'll create our own businesses? So we don't have to take money from anybody. I can't believe you're selling cats. All he cares about is selling cats. Which would you rather have? Us selling our own merch that we're doing, or us taking money from Qatar and in other places?
That comment took me out. And the reason I say that is because he took a stance. He took a stance. They're how many people have been, especially only the Zionists, I should say. The majority Zionists are saying that Tucker Carlson, what do they call him? Mark Levin calls him Tucker Carlson, basically insinuating that Tucker Carlson gets money from Qatar. They call Candace another stupid name, like these weird Zionists. You guys know how I feel about the Zios. I posted a video or a short that I would I'll add here as well. But why Qatar? Why did he say Qatar, but didn't mention any other nations, and then goes to, I don't know. I think he did that on purpose. Everything PBD does is strategic. And he said Qatar for a reason. He didn't mention the obvious Israel because people in the comments have been kind of like going hard and saying that he's receiving money from Israel, which there's no evidence to that proves that. I haven't seen any evidence. But he definitely has made a stance, I feel like, when it comes to the Israel-Gaza conflict. And I'll go later into detail why I think that. But I thought it was interesting that he said Qatar and didn't mention any other nation. Guys, comment below. Let me know if I'm crazy for thinking that. And I don't know if you noticed it, but you could hear Adam, aka Alex Sosnick, which we'll talk about him later. He chuckled in the background. So like it was weird, and me being a PBD fan for a few years now, and like connecting with him, connecting with Vinny, I feel like I was kind of part of the clique a little bit. So me seeing the transition from PBD and how he's gotten to this point is, I don't know, I have questions. But this is the video that I saw that I'm like, if PBD thinks that he is not part of the problem, then that's the problem in itself. He was very vocal about, he's basically giving his opinion about what transpired at TP USA, or I'm sorry, at AmFest, which we all know was a disaster. But I'm going to play it and I'll break it down a little bit as he talks.
Side came together and you made it happen. And you're worried about tearing each other down? I'm so glad I'm not an insider. I'm so glad I'm on the outside. You know how many people text me message saying, how come
he's not an insider and he's on the outside? But do you guys remember he had Bibi Netanyahu on his podcast? He had Eric Bowling, the guy that lied about Candace Owens, which I'll show later, TP USA, honorary board member. You are on the inside. He hangs out with Trump. He had dinner with Barron Trump because Barron's a huge fan. Like, you are on the inside and you do have influence. So don't act like you don't. And I'm going to let it play. Sorry.
you're not coming to Turning Point USA AmFest? I said, well, Charlie and I were going to schedule, but nobody followed up with me. How come you're not at Turning Point USA? I'm not an insider. We're outsiders, and we love it. And we still have relationships. And by the way, we respect all these guys. This is not an easy business.
So, guys, comment below. Let me know if you think he's not an insider. I think he's full of shit. I think he's lying, and he's trying to play both sides. Also, what did he just say? He said,
it's not easy. We're outsiders, and we love it. And we still have relationships. And by the way, we respect all these guys.
They don't respect all these guys. And I did a whole video about PBD and how when it comes to Candace Owens, all of a sudden he just stopped fact checking stuff. And again, being a PBD when I was a fan for many years, one thing that I appreciated about PBD and his crew is that they fact checked in real time most of the things that they spoke about. And I saw a shift when it came to the Israel talk, when it came to Candace Owens and her stance with Israel. And I just think he's playing both sides. So don't say that you support everybody because you clearly don't.
It's not an easy business. It's not easy. Any of these guys. Respect, it's hard being Tucker. It's a hard business. It's hard being Ben. It's hard building a company. It's hard having families. Every one of these guys, at some point, they contributed positively. Candace did, positively. Prager.
Candace does. Candace does. Tucker does. Candace and Tucker contribute immensely to the America First people. To the America, I consider myself an America First. I'm on the borderline between America First and America Only. But for the purposes of this conversation, I'll say America First. So don't act as if they don't have that amount of support that they do. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I am a Cancer, so I'm more emotional and like sensitive than most people. But he's lying. I think he's lying.
Massive to many of us from many years ago. People are not even talking about Prager. Prager was the OG of OGs. Prager, Dennis Prager. I hope he's doing good. He and his wife, I hope they're doing good. Sue, everybody, I hope they're doing good. All these guys played a role. Beck played a role. O'Reilly played a role. Everybody played a role. What the hell are you guys doing right now? Who the hell is the shot caller to say, call a damn meeting? Get your act together. You know how many times I have to have meetings like that? One time we had two guys in our company hated each other, but they both respected me. We were in Aspen, believe it or not. They'll remember this because they were not happy. I called breakfast. Didn't tell either one of them who I'm having breakfast with. They both show up to breakfast. I said, all right, you know why you're here? Why? You're not here because of me. You guys got to talk. Both were pissed. Talk. Nobody ever knew this meeting happened. And they talked to each other. Who is that shot caller?
I hate that PBD is simplifying it in that way because it's not that simple. The detriment that's happening in the GOP and in the MAGA movement, it's two things. Number one, in my honest, just 2 cents, my little 2 cents, my opinion, is the Israel debate. That's number one. Nobody's talking about the economy. Nobody's talking about it's Israel. Number two, it's the Jeffrey Epstein files. Two big things. If I'm wrong, guys, comment below. Maybe I'm missing something, but I'm pretty sure that the majority of the GOP is divided because of the stance on Israel. And they'll use the death of Charlie Kirk, the execution. Let's call it what it was because it was a public execution. They'll use the execution of CK, rest in peace, which we love you, as the turning point where the GOP went haywire. It's been going on before this. It's just more in our faces now because this, that we had AmFest, we had the execution. So don't act like this hasn't been going on since October 7th. So this shot caller that he's talking about, it's a non-existent person. It's not. I mean, who is it?
The damn shot. Call it. I'm not the shot caller. Call the flipping shot.
You want to be the shot caller. PBD. I'm gonna let it finish. Sorry.
What are you doing? You've had so much momentum. Good momentum. Call the damn shot. I don't know what the shot caller is. If I was the effing shot caller, the meeting would have been done a week after what happened to Charlie. And I'm going to say, what the hell are we doing? Look what we built. Reminder, we build this together. All of you.
This is my problem with this because he thinks it's that simple where the MAGA movement or the GOP and they're calling it a civil war on the right side. He's blaming it, on what happened with Charlie and somebody has to call the shots. Is he just failing or just forgetting on purpose that this falls at the hand of Donald Trump himself? I voted for that man twice and I was a Democrat. I was vote blue no matter who. I'm a Bronx kid. When you're Puerto Rican and from the Bronx, you know who you vote for. It's all liberals. I voted for Trump. He was a no-war president. What did we do a couple months ago on behalf of Israel? We helped bomb Iran, right? With a couple things with that. Are we still talking about the Epstein files? He campaigned on that, whether you want to, he didn't campaign and say, hey, if you vote for me, this is what I'm going to do. But he did talk about it on his campaign trail. You can't negate that. The billions of dollars that we continue to give Ukraine and Israel. So at some point, you got to call Donald Trump responsible for this as well. But no, we're just going to sweep that under the rug and act like all this is just coming out of the blue because somebody that we love dearly was executed. No, my friend, this has been going on before this. The Israel stance is either one or the other. You stand with Israel or you don't. And again, my disclaimer for this channel and my disclaimer for my life, I have no smoke with the Jews. I have no beef with anybody that's Jewish. My beef and my smoke is with the Israeli government. It's with Bibi Netanyahu, the prime minister of Israel. So if he wants to be all mad and act all whatever, I think he's trying to make his point, which if you pay attention, there's emotion to it and people may react to it. But if you want to go that hard for the shot caller needing to fix the problem, let's talk about what the actual problem is. The actual problem is and will be Israel. My opinion. Again, guys, if this doesn't make sense or you guys think I'm crazy or I'm this or that, let me know in the comments. But for me, number one is Israel. Number two is the Jeffrey Epstein files.
Every one of them on stage build it together. Every one of them played a positive role. All of them. Whether you hate Candace or Tucker or Ben or Megan, I don't care. Whether you love Candace, you love Tucker, you love Megan. These were the front runners of bringing the social media people together to win 2024. Don't forget. And they did in 16. Maybe not Ben, because Ben has always not been Trump. He's been DeSantis. He's been on the outside. That's probably one of the reasons why some of the camp and us don't get along.
This is the thing that makes me mad is because he's like, don't forget. But where was he? Where was he in her defense when Eric Bolling lied on his podcast? Not once, but twice. So please don't act like you're supportive of Candace. Please don't act like you're supportive of Tucker. He went on his podcast a few months ago and Adam kind of just, leaked the information because I didn't know that PBD had offered Tucker Carlson $100 million to come work at Valuetainment, and he respectfully turned it down because he knew Tucker's worth. He knew what Tucker has to offer to the American people, right? But please don't act like you've been an ally for these people, because you haven't. You've been silent, and if you ask me, you've been a little bit more lenient to the Israel side. So all this rah-rah and him being all upset, it's like, you got to speak the facts. It's more than Candace. It's more than Tucker. You want to give them their flowers now? Where was Candace's flowers when Eric Bolling was talking his shit? Excuse my language.
Because I wasn't DeSantis for 2024. I wasn't. I'm like, no, I don't think you're the guy. I support you, but not as a president. You should have gone met with the shot caller.
That's the guy.
Call the damn shot. Have the meeting already. I think there's only two people that can call that meeting to make it happen. And by the way, doesn't need to be on camera. Turn the damn camera off. I get people that call me sometimes and they tell me, you won't believe what happened. I'm like, and I say, what do you want me to do with this information? Because I'm definitely not going to talk about it on the podcast. If you calling me because you want
he loves to, like, he does the same thing that Adam does, except Adam sometimes uses names. He loves to like name drop and act like people, which I'm sure they do. I mean, I'm sure people reach out to him, but like it's always like he's the guy. He's that guy. He has the small little airport on his property in Fort Lauderdale. So if people want to come in on their private planes, he's a showstopper. Like, he wants the glitz and the glamour. He's that guy, but he always sprinkles the relationships that he has with people. I don't know if that makes sense, but try my best, guys.
me to say this to the world. I'm not the guy. You call the wrong guy. This is the wrong guy that's trying to get clicks for this. Call somebody else. I'm not that guy.
He is that guy. He is that guy. And I'll go into detail and I'll show later on his page, but like, he 100% is that guy. Does things for clicks. And he throws Candace under the bus. He believes that he doesn't know. He's not sure. Again, on the fence about it. If she's doing it for money, she's doing it for clicks, and doesn't even realize that every time he talks about Candace or he talks about Erica Kirk, that's when he hits his 1 point whatever or 1 million views. If he's not talking about those two, he's not getting the views. So like, I think he's being disingenuous, honestly.
When we do,
which, by the way, it sucks for me because I was a huge fan and I look forward to his podcast every day. I listen to his podcast at work. If I did yard work, if I'm in my garage, I always have PBD. And once I saw the shift, I'm like, man, something's not right. And a lot of people, you can read the comments on any of his episodes. You'll see people going kind of hard.
Do this. You know what our research is? We read this. We give our commentary because we trust the way we process issues, not because we have insiders calling us about everything that's going on. No. How do you?
Then you wouldn't have mentioned that then.
You process issues. You know the show, The First Take? What's your take? This is my take. We have a Fox comes up, say, sit down with us. They say, what do we like about your show? What's that? It seems like you're processing the issues while you're doing a podcast, and you guys are just kind of doing ChatGPT information, and then in that moment, you kind of share what you're thinking. That's what makes it authentic. Mm-hmm. That I'm not being fed by somebody saying, say this.
Unless it's about Candace, unless it's about Israel. Yeah.
Say this, say that. No, I'm not that guy. Call somebody else and tell them what to say. But come on, shot caller. I don't put this on anybody but the shot caller right now. And Erica's not a shot caller. She's not. You don't just become a shot caller because you married a shot caller. Kirk is gone. Who's the current shot caller? If it's not him, is it above pay grade? Call the damn meeting.
Whoever the shot caller is has to have the balls to call out Israel. It is what it is, PBD. Whether you agree with me or not, I'm pretty confident that's the problem here. Just saying.
Call the meeting. Holy shit. Is this what Turning Point USA is going to be? Is it going to be like, what is that award that Diddy and Snoop got up and you want to lead? If you were part of a crew that the executive producer needs to be in your video,
all up in the
come
video.
to death row.
Yeah. Also, the fact if you guys are fans of PBD, you can agree with this because I'm sure you've seen it before. And if you're not, I'm going to tell you because I was. PBD always wants to show, like, let people know that he grew up listening to hip hop and like he knows all the names and all the songs and his favorite rappers. And that's like his thing. And Adam also thinks that he's, I don't know, whatever. But he's talking about the Source Awards when the East Coast and the West Coast were, essentially beefing and Tupac got taken out and then Biggie got taken out. But he always has this, like, I feel like I feel like PBD, no matter what it is, whether it's like political talk, whether it's a hip hop industry, whether it's Hollywood, because he loves movies and he's always talking about movies. I feel like no matter what the topic is, he always wants to be down with the get down. And I feel like I see it more now. Whereas when I was a fan, I loved every part of it because, again, I'm a Bronx kid. We grew up on hip hop. We grew up on the Biggie. I remember the day when Biggie Smalls, was killed. It was great. I'm from the Bronx, right? So, I used to love that he was like that. And now that I'm not such a fan, I'm like, what is he doing here? So I don't know. It's a little weird, but maybe I'm just talking too much.
I don't need to be all up in the video. What was that?
Source Awards, yeah.
Is Turning Point USA not a Source Award?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Pretty much.
No, it can't be.
Daily Wire.
And by the way, let me see the other side. I don't mind the debate. Actually, don't mind the debate. I don't mind the Israel, not Israel debate. That's fine.
That's a lie. You know why? He had the man himself, the war criminal himself, Bibi Netanyahu, he had on his podcast. And he gave him a softball ass interview. Which, by the way, I rewatched it just so I can have just to refresh my memory because I saw it when it aired and I think it was like in August. So I rewatched it today. And what do you think I noticed back in August? I think it was like August. I might actually still have it open. It was in August and I want to say it was definitely before the passing of Charlie. Yeah, I have it right here. When was this filmed? August 26th. Yeah. It was August 26th. So you had the man himself. Remember when BB was doing like the podcast, like tour? He was on the Nelk Boys. He was on, I want to say he was on Flagrant. Let me double check that because I'm not too sure, but I'm pretty sure he was on Flagrant. He was with the Nelk Boys. Maybe he wasn't on Flagrant. I don't know. I don't remember. But he did his tour all over the place, and the Nelk Boys got a lot of heat for the interview. This guy got a lot of heat for the interview. And what I noticed from that interview that premiered August 26, 2025. So it was about 2 to 3 weeks before the execution of my boy, whom I love dearly, Charlie. What I noticed from this episode, because I rewatched it today, was that, remember I just said like 5 minutes ago that he used to fact check everything and make sure that the facts are on, that he's supporting his stance. Well, what I noticed with this BB interview was that there was some fact checking done. I don't want to talk about the fact that he didn't ask about Gaza or the 70,000 people that have been taken out, that there's an actual genocide. What I noticed, two things. I noticed that when he gave his opinion about what was happening, whether it's the money that's going to Israel, whether they consider him a war criminal. Guys, I'm gonna link it so you guys can watch it if you want to watch it. He kept referring to the people that were addressing or talking about that as people. People are saying, people feel, people think. So he wasn't taking a stance. He didn't want to say, oh, I believe, or because he's with the war criminal himself. I noticed that and I thought, so you have no stance on Israel. Okay, cool. But the other thing that I noticed was that there was actual fact checking in that episode in real time. I don't think it was a live. I think it was I don't know if it was a live episode or it was usually when he has a guest, it's pre-recorded. It's not a live. But what I did notice was when the fact checking did happen, where Rob in the background would like fact check and he'll put it on the screen. It happened 2 times that I stopped watching it after a little while, but it happened when you guys remember the ICC, the International Criminal Court, that there was a couple judges that said, if you step foot on this country, you're automatically going to get arrested because you are a war criminal. He brought that up. And BB's reply was, yeah, funny you should mention that because one of the judges that's trying to come after me, he subsequently ended up getting, 5 women came out to say that he sexually harassed them, something to that effect, something like that he was inappropriate. So of course, if right? Anytime you go against the grain, they either find something in your phone or something incriminating, right? So the only time that PBD's podcast fact checked that interview was when, actually, I might show it right here because I have the timestamps, was when the ICC judge was allegedly, here we go, I'm going to show it real quick. I'm going to mute it just so I could, and I'll put it on Let me make it big. Actually, I'll just play it so you guys can hear.
Politicized, unelected, that wants to,
I think it was over here.
was his ruin. His brother, who's a British parliamentarian, was in jail for sexual misconduct too. So he said that's it. That's the end of me. And then he
So right here, it says the ICC prosecutor steps aside until sexual misconduct probe. So it was sexual misconduct like charges or whatever they do. So guess what? PBD podcast did. They fact checked that. 100% they fact checked that. So what does that tell me? He's only going to fact check things that fit his narrative, because the narrative he's not fact checking what are the crimes that he committed that the ICC would go after him for. But he did fact check the fact that, oh yeah, this guy is having a court case because of his sexual misconduct. What did Erica Kirk say? Didn't she say, which a lot of people believe, nothing's by coincidence, nothing's by accident? You think it's an accident that the PBD podcast fact checked him on this? So again, he didn't fact check the charges that the ICC has brought, that they have brought against Bibi for his war crimes. They only fact checked that one of the judges who went after him are not, he's now facing these charges. If you ask me, it's a little biased. Another thing that his team did fact check, and again, guys, I might be bugging. Maybe I'm making stuff up in my head. I'm just, as a PBD fan, or a prior PBD fan, a former PBD fan rather, who watched him for years, I've seen the transition and I don't like it. Another thing he didn't fact check was, and I thought was, I'm sorry, another thing he did fact check, and let me find the, because I like to try to have the timestamps written down so I'm not like losing my place, but he did fact check was when he said that we get our intelligence from Iran, from Israel. That's why we're a great asset. That's what he said. Let me see.
Reminds me of that movie.
Also, this is another thing that I said on my on one of the episodes before, is that PBD loves movies. So anytime you bring a movie up, you got him. He's gonna be wowed by you. But anyway, he brings up this movie.
I think
Yes.
we're not going to take it anymore. And it's not just Israel, because if they target Israel and they say to a democracy defending itself against these savages, you can't defend yourself, then no democracy is safe, and America isn't safe. So I think that's come out. There is extraordinary vilification, extraordinary lies leveled at Israel,
He was talking here about Iran and how Iran is a threat to America. Israel is just in the way. The same rhetoric that he's been spewing for 30, 40 years, even before that. I'm trying to find the other fact check that I was like, wouldn't it be nice if he fact checked all the stuff that when they try to, when they try to go after Candace, right? Or when they try to go after Israel, or when they try to go against, this whole conflict. The fact checking doesn't exist anymore. This is another thing he fact checked. I'm going to put it on the stage shortly. I just want to make sure that the time is good. I do apologize, guys. I'm just a regular YouTuber in my spare bedroom at home. I'm not a pro at this.
And we share our intel with the American intelligence services. And that's why the bond is so strong. It's not only a bond of values of our common Judeo-Christian civilization, and it is really a war of civilization against the barbarians that we're fighting, but it's also a bond.
There it goes. The 5 Eyes can refer to two main concepts: 5 Eyes intelligence, a multilateral agreement for intelligence sharing between Australia, Canada, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, and the United States, and the 5 Eyes framework in design a set of principles, including imagination. It's all like the alliance that we have with Israel. Again, fact checking like the positive side of Israel, the positive side of our relationship with this guy. And what I didn't appreciate was that when it comes to that, he'll fact check, but when it comes to because maybe Netanyahu then goes on to say that Iran was responsible for the 2 attempts on President Trump. Where's the evidence for that? Because that's been circulating, it had been circulating since the beginning with Thomas Crooks and then the other guy. Why are we not fact checking that? Are we just saying things because we could just say them? Didn't fact check that when he brought up that Iran was responsible for those attempts. And then when it comes to Gaza, there was no fact checking done on. He said PBD also said in the episode, some people call it a genocide. I mean, I think at this point, unless you're a Zionist, all people call it a genocide. Am I wrong? Like, I don't know. So when I saw this, it reminded me of the Bibi interview. So that's why I went back and watched it. But again, the fact checking is only convenient when it fits the narrative. And I'm starting to believe that his narrative is with Israel without saying is Israel. So let's go back to the video of him talking about the shot caller, because he was going ham. And if you know, he can invoke emotion, which is one of the reasons I was a huge fan of his. Let's see what else he has to say.
I don't mind that debate. That's healthy. Like when they're like, there's a reason why the younger audience is questioning Israel. Maybe listen to the younger audience. See what they're saying. Listen to them. Stop thinking they're young and dumb. Let's see what they got to say. Maybe there's an argument there. Maybe the fact that 260 journalists disappeared, maybe we need to talk about that. Maybe the fact that Israel doesn't allow journalists to go out and report what's going on, we need to talk about that. That's okay.
This is the first time that he's mentioned anything like that I remember. If I'm wrong, guys, clip it and let me know.
Okay, that's a topic we're debating. It's a topic we're debating. But this tearing down bullshit stuff's got to stop, guys. You know, I'm not doing this because I'm trying to make money off of this. I'm genuinely doing this because I love America and I got 4 kids. And I want to make sure these guys in 20, 30 years when they want to run, we don't get so flippant, distracted, and divided that AOC and a Newsom that's right on one of the polls is showing ahead of J.D. Vance. AOC and Newsom go on a ticket together, and all of a sudden we have President 20. What do you think happens to America with everything you build? You don't think one by one the executive order and tear all of it down? Or would you like to see a JD be a 2-term guy next?
No.
Or a DeSantis or a Rubio? I like Rubio as well.
No.
What do you want?
That's all. Israel, Israel, Israel. No, thank you.
Want to see? Shot caller. Call the shot. You know who you are.
Here's the thing. He's saying you know who you are, but I think at this point it's like, is there a shot caller? President Trump built this whole MAGA movement. People supported him. People love America. We love our country. But he's the one that broke it up. He's the one that broke it up. Ben Shapiro's on TPUSA screaming about the fact that Candace Owens is she's wrong for questioning TPUSA, which, by the way, it's been proven time and time again that TPUSA had been lying about small things. It's okay to question them, right? But Dave Smith actually said it best. If I find the clip, I'll link it. But Dave Smith said it best. Dave Smith said, remember, Ben Shapiro went in at TPUSA. He went in on Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, and Candace Owens. But his argument at AmFest, rather, was Candace is blaming all the wrong people. She's blaming this person. She's blaming that. She's give Erica a break, blah, blah, blah. That's not why Ben Shapiro's mad. Ben Shapiro's pissed because Candace Owens took a stance on Israel. All this beef between Ben and Candace is not because she's talking about TPUSA or the murder. He did use that as an excuse at TPUSA, but that's not why he's mad at her. Dave Smith said that, and he obviously said it a lot more eloquently than me, right? He's a professional podcaster. But yeah, is that not accurate? Ben Shapiro's not mad that she's investigating the execution of her best friend, Charlie Kirk. He's not mad that she's questioning TPUSA. He's mad that she turned her back on the Israel stance. Same thing with Tucker Carlson. He's not mad because Tucker gave Nick Fuentes a platform. Nick Fuentes has millions and millions of followers. Nick, at this point, I feel like he's low-key, like, not even cancelable. I mean, I don't know. I started getting to know more about Nick, and I was standing with a lot of the things that he said, but there's a lot of things he says that I'm just like, it's a little bit too much for me. But he's not mad at Tucker Carlson because he had him on his show, which he did say at TPUSA. He's platforming, blah, blah, blah. That's not what he's mad about. That's not what he's mad about. He's mad about Tucker speaking about the genocide in Gaza. So Ben, he made an ass of himself at TPUSA. Then you have weirdos like the Toady, Barry Weiss saying, "Oh, it was epic. He did his thing." No, he didn't do his thing. If you go on Ben Shapiro's X account right now on his Twitter or X, you'll see that everybody feels the same way that I do. So he's calling this out, and my guy PBD, it's more than these influencers. 1000% is more than these influencers. You start at the top. Cash Patel ended up being a dud. Dan Bongino, again, I was a fan of both Dan and Cash when they got the jobs at the FBI. I was very excited for them. I thought the truth was going to come out about the ugliness that's going on behind the scenes in our federal government. Not happen. Now he's stepping down, which I can only assume maybe his heart or his soul couldn't take what's going on. I don't know. It's pure speculation for me at this point. But he's stepping down. But it's been a disappointment since Trump got in office. The Pam Bondies, the binders. I wish I had a binder. The phase 1 of the Jeffrey Epstein files. I did a whole nother video on that too. I'll post it so you guys can check it out. It was all bullshit. So you got Pam Bondi, you got Cash Patel, you got Dan Bongino. It's all BS. And if you're calling out influencers at TPUSA, you should probably start calling out the president of the United States, in my humble opinion. I didn't finish this. I'm going to see what else he says right now.
Oh my God, I really didn't want to say this right before Christmas. Call the effing shot. Call the meeting. You know who
before Christmas, who cares? Whatever.
You are. I hope this makes it to him. Sit everybody down.
Who do you guys think he's talking about? The shot caller. And also, why won't he say it? I thought he just said a few minutes ago that he didn't know who it was, but I don't know what he's talking about, but it's not going to happen.
Hash it out and get it solved. Because this next phase, it's no longer like you said. It's not about Fox and
wait, are we talking about the midterms now? Let's see.
Newsmax and OAN. Is it OAN, AON?
Yeah,
I don't know.
whatever.
It's not. It's YouTube, Twitter, X, all these guys.
Exactly.
Let's have the meeting. I don't want to be a part of it. I'm not an insider. Have the damn meeting. If you want me to contribute.
You totally want to be a part of it. I feel like he's being so disingenuous, and I feel like I was biased before because I loved him so much, and I love this podcast, and I love, what he stood for. But I think he's lying. He totally wants the invite.
In any way, as a moderator, just to be a processor, I will contribute. I'm not saying I'm not willing to contribute, but my number one priority is the greatest country in the world. That's what I care about. Period. And let's start scoring people on golf score. When I'm recognizing somebody on talent, what do we score them on? Humor, trust, telling the truth, asking good questions, but being builders, not tearing down.
Asking good questions, but that's my thing. It's like asking good questions it only applies to certain people and certain topics. And I'm sorry, but I think he's full of shit.
By the way, if you're not too careful, like I remember one time, I don't know what happened to me. I went through a 6-month period where I was
yeah, he ends up always making things about him, which I've heard all his stories. Yeah, so it's like, PBD, what was the goal of this? I think the goal, my personal opinion, I think the goal here was to say, I'm not an insider. I don't have these connections, but I do have these connections, but I don't want anything to do with it, but I do want something to do with it. Like, does that sound, it sounds pretty accurate, but I could be biased. I don't know. When he says, I can help moderate. You can't even moderate a damn interview between you and Bibi Netanyahu. You didn't ask the hard questions. So I think he wants to be a part of it. I think he's lying. I think when it comes to certain topics, he tries to play it safe. And the reason he does that is the just in case, the what if Candace is right? What if Macron's wife has a penis? What if the federal government has something to do with the execution of our beloved Charlie? So I think he tries to keep it safe in a manner where it's like, if I don't say too much, I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, if I don't say too much, I'm good. If I say too much, I'm still good. So he plays the happy medium. And I think you have to take a stand either way. People are going to love you or hate you for either way, but just be true to you. And if this is who you are and you're being true to who you are, then that's who you are. I'm just not a fan of it. Again, this is the guy, right? PBD, who let Eric Bowling pretty much troll Candace. He trolled Candace on his podcast and let it happen. I got a couple clips. I don't want to make this video long, so I'm going to try my best to not keep sharing stuff, but just, time just keeps, going. So this clip right here, I I don't remember what it is because I have so many pages open, but I'm going to play it and then I'll tell you exactly why I wanted to play it.
I think she's gone down a deep, dark rabbit hole the last couple of years.
Oh yeah, Candace lives completely rent free in Sosnick's head.
That's my opinion. Her entire career, you can almost assess
I remember this. Okay, I know why I wanted to play this.
that it's Jews or very pro-Israel people that have put her on. And she slapped them all in the face. Dennis Prager, Dave Rubin, Charlie Kirk to an extent, Ben Shapiro on Daily Wire. They all gave her a platform. And then she just spits in all their face. And now none of them want anything to do with them. It's very reminiscent in a weird way.
Play it back a little bit.
Ben Shapiro on Daily Wire, they all gave her a platform. And then she just spits in all their face. And now none of them want anything to do with them. It's very reminiscent in a
Are we going to ignore the fact on why all this happened? Her relationship with PragerU, her relationship with Daily Wire, her relationship with Ben Shapiro. The second she said Christ is king and they thought it was an anti-Semitic comment, everything went to hell. The second she said, I don't know if I agree with genocide. I don't think kids should be getting bombed and taken out. Like, that's all she did. So what is he talking about? She spit on them. They gave her this opportunity. So it's like, okay, thank you for the opportunity. But the second I go out of script, or the second that I have my feelings or my emotion or my opinion on something, that's it. You're done with. That's literally what happened to her. So for him to act like she just kind of was just like, F you, Daily Wire, F you, Ben Shapiro. No. She gave her opinion on something and it backfired. And he's being disingenuous about it.
weird way of the U.S.-China relation.
Okay, now he starts talking about the China relationship between the U.S. and he compares that to Candace Owens. And I think it's stupid, but I'm going to show this part because if I'm at the right part, again, guys, I'm just a person in my spare bedroom that likes to do videos. So I'm doing this on StreamYard by myself. I'm trying my best, guys. But I wanted to show this clip because I believe this is a clip where Vinny, who used to be my favorite, I mean, he kind of is still my favorite, but I feel like I've seen a shift with him too. I believe this clip is where he kind of like defends her a little bit. Let's see.
I'm happy that you said it. And I think we said this once before. She doesn't hate Jewish people. She clearly doesn't like Bibi Netanyahu and what Israel does government-wise.
Literally nobody likes Bibi Netanyahu. He's a war criminal. If you do like Bibi Netanyahu and you are pro-Zionist or Zionism, comment below. Let me know why.
I wouldn't ever put a blanket over it, but you guys know me, but in this situation, we have the guy, we have the suspect, we have his boyfriend, we have text.
I want you to pay attention to this part of Vinny speaking because this video was uploaded. I'm gonna get the date real quick. Sorry, guys. This video was uploaded on 3 months ago, September 17th. So about a week after the execution, right?
Messages. We have a video jumping off the roof. There's evidence, there's DNA, there's everything.
There's no video of him taking the shot. Like I said in one of my other episodes, I read the Andrew Colvett told everybody, go read the charging document. Everything will be there and people will feel better about the charging document. And I said in my video that I did read the charging document. I also said if anybody wanted a copy of it to leave me a message and I would email it to them. I'm sure you can find it online anyway, but I read it and guess what? There's nothing there. Literally nothing there. The only thing on the charging documents is everything that the media came out with. There's no video proof of him doing anything or taking the shot. There's a video of him jumping off the roof with the weapon that doesn't look like a weapon. Actually, you can see the towel falling, but there's no weapon in there. And then it talks about when he was going up the stairs, his right leg, there was something in his right leg jean, like the right side of his jeans, that was consistent with that of a rifle. So you guys have like freaking 8D vision that you can see there's a rifle in there? No, that's why they use the word consistent, because words matter. So this is Vinny. If you don't know Vinny Oshana, love him. I've connected him a couple times, a bunch of times actually. Super cool dude. This was 3 months ago, so this was in September. I've also noticed a shift with Vinny, where Vinny's like, oh, Vinny's used to be low key like F the feds, the CIA lies, the FBI lies. So now he's believing the narrative almost. And everything he just said was
So is the FBI lying to us? Like,
Duh.
there has to be a line. And I thank you for the podcast, because my brain was going here, but you have to be able to come here and go, okay, this is happening here. This is how my feelings are right here. They have the guy. So unless people are saying, because let's strip it all down. If Israel's behind it, how did they do it? Show me, please. Give me the proof and I'll go, oh my God.
No, you don't.
So remember everything he's saying, because I'm going to show another video of Vinny 5 months ago, which would have been 2 months before this, which is about the time that I feel like I saw the shift with him. So just listen to everything he's saying right now.
Vinny.
No, I
Vinny,
want
You're
proof.
being way too logical.
No.
You don't need proof.
No, I have
Just
to have proof.
speculate on the internet.
No.
And throw out a bomb.
No,
out
because,
there.
like, for instance, the 150 million, I want to see. Show me.
But the point is, the point is, there's none.
Well, that's why. That's why I have a
my
hard
point.
time. That's why I have
At
a hard
some
time.
point, her credibility, I mean, is going to go down the tubes because she needs to bring receipts. Bill Ackman brought receipts. How long was that?
So then he goes to the Bill Ackman part, blah, blah, blah. Again, this is the episode, I'm pretty confident, where, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the episode where Eric Boiling was there in September, so on September 17th or whatever date I just said. And then he was there in October. And I'm just going to play the side that which he got caught lying about. Then I'll explain it a little bit further, which I know you guys know this already. It's just a refresher. So you can see the transition between how things are going. Like you have PBD today, or was it, I think it was filmed yesterday. The shot caller. This was the biggest American comeback, the shot caller. Like, let's talk about the real problem and the real issue at hand, which is Israel. Sorry, I said it. I'm going to show this to you guys real quick and then talk about it. Which, guys, I really appreciate your patience with me and my little non-professional podcasting skills. And I am fighting a little cold. That's why I'm like, I got the sniffles. So I apologize for that as well.
You're on the board of Turning Point?
Yeah.
Okay. When's the last time you saw Candace Owens?
In person?
Yeah.
What was that?
2015,
Oh, wow.
2016.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no,
When's the last time she was at a Turning Point event?
not in many years.
Okay.
But
So let's
here,
okay,
you don't
without
have to
even
do this,
being
Adam.
biased.
There's a bet.
Is
There's
Candace
there's
even involved
there's
in Charlie Kirk's life at all?
Okay, he said, I think he said many years.
person.
Yeah.
2015,
Oh, wow.
2016.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no,
When's the last time she was at a Turning Point event?
not in many years.
Okay.
But
So let's
here,
okay,
you don't
without
even have to
even
do this,
being
Adam.
biased.
There's a bet.
Is
There's
Candace
there's
even involved
there's
in Charlie Kirk's life at all?
question proof that Candace Owens is nothing, has nothing to do. She would be in a perfect world if they didn't have this. What I already know was a very quiet breakup where she got too rabbit hole for him. She would be the logical heir to the TPUSA throne, but she's
And
not.
now she's not
because
even
she's
invited.
Correct.
How does that make sense? Did anybody think that Candace Owens would be the heir to TPUSA? What he's doing is he's creating a story, all right? He's creating a story for the public to say and think and feel and believe, oh, Candace is full of shit, right? He hasn't seen her since 2015, right? We're in 2025. So he's saying he hadn't seen her in 10 years. Then Adam goes, well, when's the last time she's been at an event? He said many years. And PBD let him talk,
So
right?
this is
So,
their divide is.
Wait a minute, not invited, meaning
She's-
So then he goes, yeah, they're divided. It's obvious. Clearly, they had a falling out, which Candace goes on the record and says, you're out of your mind. We never had a falling out, blah, blah, blah. Right? So that happens. And then let's see what we got right here. This is 2 months later. He reappears on the PBD podcast. And then this is how it goes.
And I moved over to the honorary board. I'm still on their honorary board. So anyone who says like, oh, he's not on the board. No, I'm not on the actual day-to-day business of the board, but I'm an honorary board member after spending 5 years as an advisory board member.
Okay. So when he was initially on the episode in September, Adam asked him, and I just played it, are you on the board? And he said, yes. He could have very easily said that. He could have said, no, I'm on the honorary board, but I did serve on the advisory board from X amount of years to, from this year to this year. then there was no lie. Then he's basically saying, yeah, no, I was on the board. I was on the advisory board for 4 or 5 years. And then they put me on the honorary board. But no, what he wanted was to create, again, that narrative like, yeah, I'm on the board. I know what's going on the inside. He did that on purpose, right?
Clear that up, walk past that. As far as the comment on Candace, Pat, I think I said I hadn't seen her, or she hadn't been a speaker at TPUSA for a couple of years.
No, Eric, you didn't say a couple years. You said many years. And on top of that, you mentioned that you hadn't seen her in 10. So he's just lying.
I guess I was mistaken because it was 18 months. And I
You guess you were mistaken. You were 1000% mistaken.
had forgotten about the 2024 event, as I think she was pregnant. Anyway, Candace Owens' army let me know it. They were very upset. And this was all stemming from kind of a back and forth I had with Adam about, she was blaming Israel for Charlie Kirk's assassination. I just didn't think that was a fair assessment. And then
What does that have to do with anything?
She said it was the U.S. government who assassinated Charlie Kirk. I have no axe to grind with Candace Owens or her fan base. That's fine. I'm just living in the real world a little bit more reality based. I believe there are forces behind Charlie Kirk's assassination.
He totally. This is the thing that pisses me off, is that he's just brushing it away like, oh, I was coming off of a heated argument or a heated conversation with Adam about blah blah. He's just full of shit. At this point, he's saving face. And I feel like PBD, like the debater or the person that loves to handle debates, should have kind of went in on him. Then he did it. So he let him just kind of off the hook twice. So PBD is just kind of like, he doesn't want to go too hard against Candace, but then he doesn't want to go too soft on Candace. And he's just full of shit at this point. And I don't like it, because no matter how many times he says, because he has said it, where is Candace doing this for money? He's doing the same thing. Any video he puts with Candace's name or Erica's name, he's getting 1 million views. Like a bunch of these guys on Twitter, we got, I've seen guys with like 2,000 followers or 5,000 followers. They'll attack Candace to get the algorithm going because people are responding. That's exactly what PBD is doing. Respectfully is what I believe, right? I wanted to show this, right? Is this the one? Sorry, guys. Again, I'm under the weather a little bit. Don't remember why I wanted to share this one, but I'm going to put it on the stage and figure it out.
Andrew Colbert was there in the room. You're on the board of Turning Point?
Oh, sorry. It was the same video. Okay. I had it twice. Sorry. I digress. Sorry about that. So yeah. So we saw Eric respond to that, basically saying, oh, I said it was a couple years. PBD, sir, you had him on the podcast 8 weeks before that. You probably should have rewatched what he said in case he was going to lie again, so you can call him out, but you didn't do that. Again, you didn't fact check him. And again, I think it's because it's against Candace. I could be wrong. I could be completely off whatever the saying is. But you could have checked that, because he was coming on your show. You could have prepared. This was a live episode, I believe. Yeah, when it's the crew, it's usually a live episode. When it's a guest and only PBD, it's usually pre-recorded. And he didn't do that. He didn't call him out. He just accepted the fact that he said, I believe what I said, PBD. I believe what I said was a couple years. And that's not what he said. He said many years. A couple years versus many is a huge difference. And going back to Vinny, I wanted to show, well, before I transitioned to Vinny, I do want to show this, because the funniest part was that Candace, she brings the receipts when she can. And I'm here for it, because a lot of people are attacking Candace. But I think you guys might enjoy this. I don't know if you guys saw this or not.
Now, okay, great. We have the email, just to fact check this, because it's funny, and we should now call him Alex for the rest of our lives. Eric wrote, hey man, this was an email, by the way, to my PR. Tell Candace I meant no harm to her. It was that Alex guy who kept at it. He tried to corner me, and he found out. If she wants to talk, I'll call her. If not, no worries. I've lost too many people in my life to get too emotional about these things. I've always respected CO. That moment got blown out of proportion. Anyway, I remain. And my message back was, keep that same energy. You went onto a podcast. You lied about my relationship with Charlie right after he died, when I was still reeling from so many emotions. I was then being attacked and lied about a very real relationship that I had in my life. And you're just going to privately email this little sucker apology. Keep the same energy. Do it publicly. Say I lied or I misspoke, whichever it is. He's not done that. He's not moved to do that. I don't believe he did. At least it wasn't sent to us. And he calls, he throws that guy Alex or whatever who wouldn't stop talking. So that's him. He's just Alex who won't stop talking on the PBD podcast because his only mission in life is to defend Zionism, to defend Zionists, and to attack people who don't like what Israel is doing, which is virtually everybody at this point. So, anyways, I
had to share that because I wanted to be kind of like a story time. This is what he said the first time he showed up. He appeared on the PBD podcast. This is what he said the second time. And then behind the scenes, he's emailing Candace, or her PR team rather, and saying, hey, I didn't mean that. It's that Alex guy that was talking, that was kind of like egging me on. Mind you, his name is Adam, but now we're going to refer to him as Alex. So she basically goes into detail prior to this saying, like, this is how politics works. You have no friends in politics. People will lie and make you, look crazy, or attempt to make you look crazy. And that's what it's about. Now, I wanted to go back and I wanted to show you I wanted to go back to Vinny. So you saw how Vinny kind of like, oh, we got the guy. It's Tyler Robinson. And is the FBI lying? I mean, come on. He's being very passive about it. But the Vinny that I grew to love on YouTube and the guy that I've connected a couple times, he wasn't always like that. And it sucks because it's kind of like, I get that PBD's his boss. I get that PBD, he does his comedy. He's a comedian, Vinny. I get that comedy, even his comedic career, it falls under valuetainment. So I understand that he has to be like on good, I guess has to be like a good boy when it comes to the way he speaks on the show. But I just want to give a snippet of the Vinny that I learned to love and the Vinny that I don't know if he's still there. And on top of that, I want you to pay attention. This conversation is about the Epstein files. I want you to pay attention to Alex, aka Adam, and his response to the viewers of PBD podcasts. I'm gonna play for you guys, and it's actually pretty disgusting, but I am gonna play for you guys.
We are not comfortable with anybody having a sex trafficking ring that has control over all of these politicians, over all these celebrities, out of all these singers. Adam, it doesn't sit well if decisions are being made from our government or from another government. Okay, if he did work with Mossad, imagine this, Adam. Imagine you're a congressman, you're a president, you're whoever, you're an actor, and you were there. And then this country, let's say Israel, says, hey, listen, we want you to say X, Y, and Z. And you go, I ain't saying shit. I'm not backing this. I'm not doing that. And they go, oh, really? Check your email. And you open the email and it's an encrypted video of you hooking up with an underage kid. Then guess what happens? They own you. So imagine policies, rules, laws being made by that. That's number one, Adam. Number two, we were promised if you weren't going to do it, shut the hell up. All of you, from the top to the bottom. Stop bullshitting us, okay? We're not stupid. The average American, they're trying to make MAGA people, we're stupid hits from down south. We're not stupid.
That's the angry patriot that I used to love.
But we all know the truth, okay? He fucking worked, sorry for my language. He worked for intelligence. They said he worked for intelligence. We all know who he worked for. Let's stop playing the games. And then they lied. If you weren't going to do it, don't say it. And Pine Bondi, don't sit in a restaurant, talk that shit, and then go on the lawn, White House lawn, and say you have it, and then lie to us as if we're stupid. As if we're stupid, Adam. And the third one is the kids, which should.
This is when I was a fan. I got the Angry Patriot merch because of Vinny. I felt like I was the female version of the Angry Patriot. I got the merch. I'm like, you know what? I love everything this guy stands for. I love what PBD stands for. This was 5 months ago. It wasn't that long ago. And somewhere there was a shift. But keep paying attention so you can see how Alex Sosnick, aka Adam, refers to just Americans, everyday Americans.
Be number one. These kids are either dead or they're ruined for the rest of their lives, Adam. That's what it comes down to. And I'm not upset. Yeah, I am obsessed with it, but I'm not going to let it go. And I implore everybody, guys, this is going to be a story just like JFK, just like everything, just like the Russia collusion, just like freaking COVID. We're going to forget about it. And it's just not right, Adam. We're being leveraged by other countries. Could it be Mossad? Could it be the MI6? Could it be KGB? No, bro. We have to have accountability to know. Because, Adam, if we don't stop it now, it's going to keep happening. Plain and simple. That's it. That's why I'm obsessed with it.
I totally appreciate your your perspective and why you get completely emotional, especially on the child sex trafficking thing. I think, as I've said before, there's things that matter and there's things that you can control. And where
Sorry, just realized that I was muted. He doesn't appreciate anything. He's lying. He tells Vinny, "I appreciate your passion. I appreciate where this is coming from." He doesn't. He fights with Vinny about this all the time and makes Vinny, kind of tries to make him look stupid because of his stance on certain conversations. So he's not being genuine right now.
I tend to focus is where those two things intersect. And I know we have a big platform, so we have the ability to have these types of conversations. In my opinion, there's a lot of people that are obsessed with this,
Yes.
that they have zero control over this. And these are the types of people, in my opinion,
Yeah.
that a lot of these people are what I would call losers, or as what Andrew Tate described as brokies. And they're fat, they're broke, they're losers, they can't get this, they can't get that. They're struggling with work, they're struggling in their relationships. They have nothing going on in their life, but this.
He's literally calling anybody who is invested in calling out the corruption in our federal government, because that's what it is when you're talking about the JE files, Jeffrey Epstein files. It's corruption, it's blackmail, it's other foreign nations, right, involved. It's collusion, right? There's some sort of collusion there. The people who are invested in this, people who want justice for the survivors. They're fat, they're losers, they're overweight. This is what Adam is saying. This is who he has on his podcast.
This shiny little object they are obsessed with. And I'm not deflecting. I'm not saying it's unimportant. I'm just saying, like, I don't wake up every day and be like, I got to get them Epstein logs, bro, or I can't live my life the way I want to live it. It's like, no, I want to get stuff done. I want to look my best. I want to feel my best. I want to make my money. I want to be with my family. I want to be with my friends. I want to hang out with my nephew. I have so many things on my agenda.
Yeah.
That I'm not like, I got to get the flight logs, bro. I got to know. And I'm not saying that's how you operate, but I think there's a lot of losers and brokies that are obsessed with stuff like this. These are the same people that instead of going home and working out and building a business and doing things.
Guys, I guess I'm a loser because I care about the victims and I care about the blackmailing that's going on in our nation. I guess I'm a loser. Forget that I have 2 jobs, right? That I pay taxes, that I'm a homeowner. Forget that I'm just an average American. I am a loser who's overweight and has no friends because I care about the Epstein files. And PBD says nothing. Literally says nothing.
Of their life, they're Netflix and chilling, or they're just doom scrolling all day. And there's so many people that I think obsessed with things that they have no control
over.
I
get it, but I get where you're coming from. But Adam, that guy that's drinking Mountain Dew in his trailer and sitting there, who's an American patriot that pays his taxes and has kids and a family, Adam, he wants to know if the government that he's living under is controlled by foreign countries because they have tapes of them raping fucking underage kids. Adam, it's not a shiny little thing. No, Adam,
I don't think
it's not a shiny little thing in the air.
Everything you were right. Everything you were right. Everything you said is accurate, other than the word controlled.
They are controlled.
The intelligence.
He always gets triggered when it comes to anything that has to do with like somebody's controlling the United States, somebody's controlling our federal government, somebody's controlling. And it's because what rules our nation right now, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, is the Zionists. It's the Zionists that are lobbying our politicians. They're getting congressmen and women primaried out of their or planning to get them primaried out of their district. Yeah, it's happening. And Adam gets a little bit like, oh, if you guys don't know Adam, aka Alex, he is one of the biggest Zios. He loses his mind when it comes to the Israel talk. But this is the Vinny that I used to love. And sometimes I question what happened.
Community.
Adam,
I don't know anything about this.
Adam,
they communicate.
You didn't hear the CIA guy from yesterday? Adam, think about this, Adam. If you are comfortable with Mossad, which is Israel, or Russia, or anybody,
he's naming them. 5 months ago, he would name them.
Blackmail ring, their operation. Think about this, Adam. Would you be comfortable as a country going, you know what? Epstein's our guy. We own him. Lex Wester, all this money's a billionaire. Let's wire everything, bring everybody there to have sex with underage kids because it's the island and whatever. And we're going to use that to get what we want. CIA, Mossad, anybody. How disgusting and evil. If you really think about that, step back from who it is. I don't give a shit who it is, Adam. If that is your operation, holy shit, you are one of the most evil, disgusting unit operation, period. And for those little people, Adam, the ones that you think are stupid that are sitting there, they don't just want the flight logs. They want everybody that's involved to fucking go down, period. Accountability. It's simple. One word, Adam. Just like the Brennan and Comey thing. Nothing's going to happen to them. Nothing. Because Republicans go, we're investigating. Nothing is going to happen.
Vinny.
That's the sad thing. Same thing with Fauci.
Vinny, are you okay? Bro?
No, I am. It's bullshit,
Okay.
Adam.
Like,
It's bullshit.
I'm with you. And
It's
I want to.
You see how antagonistic Adam is? He's always like, Vinny, your veins are popping out of your head. Da, 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 da. He's always antagonizing Vinny.
understand the frustration and the anger.
It is.
I'm
How many more times do we have to say it, Adam? Is anybody getting in trouble? Do you believe Epstein? Do you believe Epstein was running a blackmail ring? Do you think that there's no client list?
Let me ask this question.
Come on.
Between Brennan
And then PBD goes on a rant about something else. So there it is. I mean, am I crazy? This is the same Vinny that says they have the shooter. They have the shooter. They have the evidence. See if I can find that video again. They have the evidence. Is the FBI lying? Yes, 100%. The FBI is lying.
When's the last time?
So it's like, I don't know what video it's at, but anyway. Yeah, guys, I just wanted to do, I guess it's a reaction. I just started calling them reaction videos. But I wanted to do a reaction video to PBD and what he said. I'm going to play a little bit more because I don't remember, like I didn't see it in its entirety because, again, I don't watch his channel anymore. And I came across my X feed. So I want to play a little bit more to see if he says anything worth listening to. Let's see.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Make up your mind. Which one do you want? So stop bitching and whining about some of the guys that are building a company. They're building businesses. I respect anybody that's building. Building is hard. Tearing down is easy. What is hard about tearing down? You know how easy it is to tear people down? Anybody can do it. We were sitting on the other day, Andrew Wilson was here.
The thing is that he's saying tearing down is easy, but building up is hard. It's difficult. It's hard work. But he's helping with the tearing down when he's allowing people to lie about people like Candace or like people like, that lie about Tucker. So he's part of the problem. And I think he's just trying to, again, play both sides where he's not saying too much and saying too little, but right in the middle, just in case. He doesn't want to get it twisted with Tucker. He doesn't want to get it twisted with Candace. And it's just corny. And need I remind you that at one point he was a Candace Owens fan. I'm actually intrigued to see if this is ever going to change because I don't know, the way things are going and the way he seems to change his stance when it comes to certain conversations, i.e. Israel and Bibi Netanyahu. I wonder if this is ever going to change because he even has her on her intro to the pod.
Adam, what's your point? The future looks bright.
My handshake is better than anything I ever signed right here.
So, at some point, he did respect her. It's just something transitioned where I think there was a part of the video that I remember seeing on X where he said that is Candace doing this for money? And I forgot to mention it and I didn't have it saved, but I did see that part of the video and I'm just like, dude, do we need to go down? I'm not, but do we need to go down Candace's page and see how she had been getting millions of views since before the execution of TK? She got it with the Harvey Weinstein series. She got it with the Kamala Harris series. She got it with she had a Jeffrey Epstein series, a Shot in the Dark series. So what are we talking about here? Anyway, guys, this video went a little long. Again, comment, let me know if I'm being biased because I'm not a fan anymore, or am I just, there's nothing here? And if you can, subscribe to my little page. Shout out again. I'm just gonna give a shout out every time I do a video to my 173 subscribers because I'm really excited about that. And again, I love interacting with you guys. So if you comment, even if it's nice, it's good, bad, and ugly, whatever, I'll comment back. And I hope you guys have a very, very Merry Christmas. Remember always, Christ is King. And I'll do a video soon. And hopefully it's not about anything too crazy.